Over the past 10 plus years, I have been so lucky to travel around the world and to different corners of the US with my camera in hand, going on adventures from horseback riding through Kyrgyzstan, mopeding through Thailand, to biking across Spain. I've spent countless days in the mountain and have probably spent as many nights in my sleeping bag or random beds as I have in my own house. From being stranded in a van in a creek to Mexico to being charged by a bear in Alaska, these adventures have all been great, but things have kind of changed. For years, Sadie and I have dreamed of someday owning a cabin in the mountains, and with the way things are in the market these days, we knew that if we wanted to make that happen, we were going to have to work our tails off. For the past 10 years, I've worked full-time as a firefighter, first doing wildland fire in Washington and Alaska, and then I've spent the last 7 years in Idaho as a full-time city fireman. On the days off, I've traveled around the US in my car, my truck, and my van, and explored a lot of different mountains on foot, on my skis, and with my bike. And then about 5 years ago, I met my wife Sadie in the Sawtooth Mountains, where she was working a summer job after she finished up college. Our early dates were all spent watching sunsets and hiking tons of miles in the Sawtooths. And on our second date, while we were hiking, she asked if I'd teach her how to use the DSLR camera that I had. So I did. Since that day, Sadie has pursued photography wholeheartedly, and it has taken her down a crazy path, far from her studies in college. Through the beginning of COVID, she landed her first few weddings, and they were last minute, but they really helped get her launched. And since then, she's just worked her butt off to build her business in that space. About 3 years ago, she took on a job working for an outdoor company, managing their content marketing and doing all of their product photography, while still working on her business on the nights and weekends. It was going well, but all we were doing during this time has been working. Because of Sadie's talent with a camera and her ability to make people feel so special, her business has really ramped up. And at the same time, so did my video projects for clients, my website, and for this channel. And because our day jobs and these side businesses have been going well, we've just been working day and night with very few weekends off for the past several years. This has been a great phase, but our batteries have been overtaxed and our adventure days have been far outnumbered by our working weekends. We knew this was all part of the process and we were ready for it because we had the goal of getting a cabin someday. Through this whole process, travel was still a priority and we would try to get out as often as we can. But on those trips, we generally have to bring our laptops along, as well as cameras and sometimes products, so that we could stay productive while we were out there. And we'd spend many hours while in transit or at just coffee shops working on staying on top of everything we had going. And again, we loved all that we had going on, but it was just too much all at once. That, and while looking forward into the future, we knew that we wanted to start a family someday, and that while we're in this phase that we're in now with the flexibility that we have, we should use our young, healthy bodies and just enjoy this time to get outdoors and travel as much as we can. So this past month, after Sadie's third summer of working her normal 40-hour weeks at her job and then working all of the weekends doing her business work, she decided that it was finally time to cut ties with her old job. She quit. Now, here we are a few weeks later, looking into the future and just trying to decide how we want this to look. We know that we want to travel and adventure more, and we love sharing content of our travels to help inspire people to do more of the same, or just share trips with people who might not be able to do them. Over the years, I've shared a wide variety of topics on this channel, from DIY projects like the house renovation to travels like to Thailand and Spain. And I want to do more of the same because those are still the things we love. But I really do want to hear what you guys have to say and what you guys would like to see more of, because these videos do take a lot of time and effort to make them happen, and I can only do so many. And so the goal is to become more consistent, to share more frequently, but in a way that's sustainable for us and valuable for you guys. So I really want to hear what you guys have to say, because we have a lot of fun stuff in the works. Some plans already, like going to Portugal here in a few weeks to go hike the Fisherman's Trail, and then bouncing over to Italy for a little bit after that, as well as some races and some fitness stuff next year. I'm going to be doing more mountain bike races, potentially adventure races, ski touring, and different things like that. And so if there's any specific things that people want to see more of, please let me know down in the comments. And as always, I deeply appreciate your guys' support on here, because I realize this is such a unique opportunity that we have, and I feel very blessed to have it. And so thanks for your continued support, and My promise going forward is that I will do my best to be more consistent, and that's going to start today because we're actually going to pack up here in a few minutes to head up in the mountains, and we're going to be taking our new sauna that we got here recently. It's a portable one. It's like a tent with a wood stove in it. We're going to go set it up on a river and camp tonight, and I am incredibly pumped because those are two of my favorite things: camping, saunas, and we're going to be taking the puppy and the bikes as well. So it's going to be good. Tag along to see more. Thanks, guys.